Okay, today is 10:33 p.m. It is Wednesday. It is May 13th. Now, um, this has been plaguing me, and this gets me into the essentially a mental wrangling. And what I need to do is fix this issue. Um, fix this issue, which is when I come into the trade, um, something interesting happens when I say that I want to make 1.5% today. Usually when I say that, I usually lose, and it doesn't. So I'm not satisfied with a 0.3% gain, and when I'm not satisfied with a 0.3% gain, I tend to force things. And when I force things, when I force things, it generally uh, it doesn't it's generally doesn't work out very well. Okay, because I because my mind is saying, okay, I need to make this, so I need to find a way, and I start to see something that is really not there. Okay, and I want to, what I tend to do is I project and I take risky trades, and that's the problem. Okay, that's the problem that I have. So then what I need to do, what I see, I haven't really thought about this, but I need to think about it and see how. So when I start the trading session, what is my objective? Okay, when the trading session starts, what is my objective, right? So the objective of so my objective when the trading session begins is to essentially make the right trades. Okay, make the right trades and then expand upon it to a reasonable amount without getting to the point where I'm in a risky situation, right? So so essentially when I um, so when I get so when I'm so this is crucial because this is going to set into motion my objective for the day. So I suppose I sup okay um so when I go to work as a when I, so I need to figure out an analogy here. I need to figure out an analogy that tells me that relates to what trading is. Okay, and so what do I know now? Okay, so I'm a prep cook. Okay, which means that I have 4 hours to do something. Okay, within that 4 hours, I want to make sure that I am satisfying my employer and I'm satisfied. So what I'm doing is I need to satisfy my employer and I need to satisfy myself. Okay. So if I satisfy my employer, then uh, I will be afforded another a day to come in and keep working. And then if I satisfy myself, then I can maintain myself so that I can go in the next day and keep working. Okay? But if I compromise myself, then I'm not able to satisfy myself and then in turn will not be able to satisfy uh, the the restaurant. It would be great if I can satisfy the restaurant by doing 3 times the work, but it won't satisfy me. Okay? Because something's gonna break when I do that. I've seen it, I've experienced it, I have results of it. And so what I need to do is make sure that I satisfy at a level where it's consistent. Okay. So that means that when I get in, then I have a list of things that I need to do. So when I have a list of things that I need to do, I need to do them in a time. So I need to do them in a timely manner with the quality of work that's required. Okay. So when I meet those two criterias, making sure that if food is being processed, that there's ice being used. I have to use the ice. Okay. So when I use the ice, it preserves it. So that's adding to the value of the work that I'm doing. Okay. So that's that. Do I need to elaborate on that a little more? So it's the quality that the work that I do, and I have to do it in a manner at the time. because time is money. And the quality means that I'm not scrapping anything, I'm not wasting anything. Okay, so those are the two primary things that I need to do. Okay, so let's say that I'm employing someone. Okay, I want to employ someone. I am an employee. Okay, I am also the owner of my company. Okay, so I am the owner of my company, and I am also the employee because I'm doing the work of the company that I own, which is the trading company. Okay, so now I need to look at it from a manager's perspective of what I expect. What I expect. Okay, so I hire somebody who's capable of doing the work. Uh, so essentially, what that means is I'm looking for somebody. I'm looking for somebody who uh, is able to make a consistent return. Okay, I'm looking for somebody. I'm looking for somebody who's able to make a consistent return. Okay. So I'm obviously as an employer trying to make as much money as possible, right? As long as possible. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to get as much money as possible and as long as possible. Those are the two primary objectives of when I enter into the trade. I want to make as much as possible and as long as possible, right? So if I hire myself, if I have an employee, okay, if I have an employee, I'm looking for that employee to make as much as possible, as long as possible. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, all right, that's what I'm looking for. But there will be a time when the market is has low volatility. Sometimes it has a high volatility, and sometimes I'll make a lot, but sometimes I won't. Okay, because it's a low volatility and it's a slow day. Okay, it's a slow day. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky. When something is slow, it's tricky to trade because there could be a lot of fake outs. Okay, when something is slow, generally it means that it's probably in a range bound situation. When something is slow, it probably means that it's trading around a range bound situation. When something is trending, generally it has some sort of a clip to it. It has something is moving it along, right? Something is moving it along. Something is causing the market to move fast. Okay, when something is doing that, and so there's more opportunity when something is moving faster, and it could also be more dangerous too. Okay, and I thought to myself, okay, so when the market is slow, I should be risking more. Okay, but in reality, because there are certain cases where the slow market has a higher a danger to it. Okay, because it's moving, it's unpredictable. It can be there could be some situation where there should be the spike that is irregular. Okay, there could be a lot of wicks. Okay, which I've seen, and so there is a danger of trading when the market is slow. Okay, when the market is slow, there could be a danger, right? So then now, so so that means that what I need as an employee is to make money, as much money as possible and as long as possible, constrained by the market condition. Okay, market condition based on what I'm trading. Okay, based on what I'm trading. So if so if the market is moving sideways, currently right now, the EU is moving sideways. Okay, it's moving sideways, right? And then AU is actually very volatile. It's moving. It's moving extremely. Okay. And then if I look at the EG, it's also moving sideways. Okay. And so it's difficult. It's essentially difficult to make money when that happens. So about 14 hours it's been moving sideways for EG. Okay. So now for UJ, UJ is behaving quite interesting. UJ is moving quite interestingly. It's also moving sideways after it dipped. Right? So the objective, so I'm trying to figure out what the best thing to do is. Okay, so my approach, so the objective of trading. What is the objective? Okay, when I say okay, I need to meet this, that's the wrong objective, right? That's the wrong objective. So the idea, so the idea is to the idea is to fit the risk to the statistical probability of a particular trade. Okay, so one thing I need to do is uh, stick to stick to a volatile stock, security. Okay, that's what I need to do. I need to stick with something that has the potential to provide the biggest return for my time, right? So I need to stick with a security that will allow me to have that. Okay. Right, right, right. So that's what I need to do. Okay. Stick to a security that is volatile. If it's not, then what I see there's it's very complex. It's I have to be aware of the tendencies of I see this is something that I need to these are the rules that I need to be aware of when I'm trading. These are things that I need to be aware of these things when I'm making these trades, okay? I have to process these things without see when I'm trading, sometimes I'm in a vacated state of mind because some thought has entered into my mind that's causing me to think about that thought instead of like moving forward with what I need to do, okay? So what is the objective when I enter? So when I enter into the trading session, so what I need to do is what I need to do is I need to look at it and see which security is tradable or not. Okay, and then when something is moving, then I want to look into that. So the step-by-step process is look for a tradeable security. Look for a tradable security. Okay, look for the tradable security. Then what I want to do is I want to risk that fits the probability. Okay? And so the stop loss is very, very important. Stop loss is very, very important. Now Trading Buddy mentioned this. I said, that's a single line he's talking about. The stop loss is very, very important because the stop loss forces me into thinking about what the potential loss will be. Okay? So the volatility If it's extreme, then I'm gonna have to reduce the size, which means that I will most likely use a smaller size. Okay, smaller risk, which means that it's gonna then the stop loss is going to fit into trade that I'm going to make. Okay, so I have a profit target in mind. I have an entry in mind, and I have a stop loss in mind. Right? Okay, that's what I have in mind, and I need to trade that accordingly, right? So, now these are rudimentary things that I just bypassed in order to like force myself to make money, which is wrong. I should have thought about this, but I was not prepared to talk about this because I didn't know. Everything is about, see, this discovery is something I'm discovering this like on the fly. I'm trying to understand what trading is about, and I'm doing this on the fly while I'm doing this. Okay, that's why I lost. I see during the time that I'm see people talk about like, well, you should be like demo trading and stuff like that. It's hard to do when you don't know anything because there's that impulsive, that emotional, the emotional magnet that pulls me in to risk money because I want to like I want the taste of the market so that I can be involved in it. But if I'm living in a demo world where no money is exchanged, it's hard to really fathom the world of trading. It's hard. It's difficult for me. It's difficult for me. For other people, it's easy, right? For me, it's hard, right? So so that means it breaks down to because it's a sequence of trades that I'm making. Okay, so I so what I'm so during the day, okay, during the trading session, I'm not sure why somebody must have. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, somebody must have put in some. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, but things are good. Okay, I pray. I have positive data. Okay, I pray I have positive data. Okay. Okay, so so during the day, okay, so during the day there's going to be multiple there could be most likely multiple trades that I take, okay? There's going to be a multiple trade that I take. But each of those trades really need to have a stop loss. It has to have a stop loss. It has to have a stop loss. There's a couple stop loss. See, I keep falling back into it because I keep like failing, right? But this time, given the opportunity, may God be so kind. Okay, may God be so. I'm like, see, when you're in a time of like need, you look for God. Okay, you do because it's out of control. You can't do anything about it. Whatever whatever has happened. There's nothing you can do because the milk has already been spilt. And whoever wants to come at you will come at you and there's nothing you can do about it. But the only thing you can do is grasp onto God and and hopefully there's going to be some sort of positive thing despite whatever evidence there is, whatever is happening. You just pray that it just comes in your favor. That's all you can do. Okay? Because they have a specific way of looking at things and you tried to live the way that you're supposed to, but if it does not meet whatever they're expected, then they're going to come after you and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? There's really nothing you can do about it. Okay? You just say to God, "Look, I don't know what's going to happen, but it'll be nice. It'll be I mean it's okay. So here's what the current situation is, okay? So I have to this is bugging me, so I need to get it out so I can get on topic, okay? So otherwise it's going to keep bugging me. So currently the rent here is very expensive, and I heard that China is buying homes. Okay, they're buying up homes. That's why it's artificially inflating, which means that more people sell their house, move into an apartment, which means that the apartments are more expensive. That's one. The second part is because of all these illegal immigrants that have been placed to America, all the apartments are full. Okay, so that increased the rent. Okay, so everything is more expensive. Buildings are more expensive. Apartments are more expensive. Homes are more expensive, and it's difficult to live. And somebody like myself, who's in a very in a legal jeopardy, a very delicate situation, can fall through the cracks. And when falling through the cracks, there's no safety net. There's no way to survive because everything is so expensive. Okay? I can only accept a certain amount of handouts from the church. I need to be able to survive. And in order for me to survive, I'm making something happen to myself to survive. But if I break the rule of something that's here, I could be undermining my own safety without me knowing about it, which is out of my control, right? And I have a perfect situation here, but I cannot satisfy everybody. And if somebody who's rich, okay, everybody's richer than me, but if somebody who's rich, who's well established, are pointing fingers, I'm just a homeless guy. They can just get rid of me and I can't do anything about it. Okay, I can't do anything about it, right? So now I'm just gonna say, hey, look, God, I don't know, it's out of my hands. I don't know what I can do. It's in His hands. But think about this. Okay, so if I'm out of here, if I can't use this office, there's no way to go. The price point here is perfect. And I'm trying to be as quiet as a mouse here. I'm trying to be as quiet as a mouse. And I only scream at myself at night when nobody's here, right? But I could be offending somebody, maybe the building owner or whatever it is, and I did something or whatever something is, I could have offended them, and I'm a sore thumb to them because I'm utilizing this facility. I'm utilizing this facility as much as possible. If you go into the kitchen, there's something about like 10,000%, what is that? Hustle or something like that. I'm doing that. Okay, that's the business model. They advertise it. So I'm utilizing the service of this facility, but they don't like that. Okay? For the little bit of money that I'm paying, I'm utilizing this service to the max. Okay? And some people don't like that. The rich people who are here, the rich people here, everybody is richer than me, right? They can afford, they have a house they can go to, right? They can do that, but I can't do that right now. But I will get there. Just give me some time. Just give me some time. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay, I'm formulating. I'm piecing it together. Okay, I'm making it happen, but I just need time. But I can't do anything about it. It's out of my hands. I don't have control over. I'm not the owner of this Regis. Somebody else owns it. Okay, and when somebody complains about me, there's nothing I can do. I'm just the blade of grass. The blade of grass, don't worry, but I have to worry. Okay? I have a bum knee. I have a bump ankle. I'll tell you what, the disaster that could have happened is happening. Everything has been taken away from me. Now, this could be horrendous. Horrendous. This could be disastrous. So the only thing that I can look forward to is just hope that things will be best here, and I can be as quiet as possible here. Okay, quiet as possible. Okay. I heard the rich people are very, very difficult. That's what I heard. That's why they're rich. They're very, very meticulous, and they have specific needs. And so somebody who's homeless and don't abide by certain criterias, they're easy to do when they're rich. Okay, when you're rich, some things are easier to do. Okay, like making a doctor's appointment. But when you're poor and homeless, you don't have any money. You can't even use the emergency facility unless it's life-threatening. Okay, you can't do that, right? So I'm figuring this out. I'm figuring this out. I've lost everything. I've lost everything, and this is an opportunity to dig myself out. But I need the internet and temperature controlled environment, and this is perfect for it. Okay, and I'm trying to ruffle as little uh, feathers as possible. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, I'm trying to be as quiet as possible. But it looks like I must have pissed somebody off or something. Whatever I did. Okay, I have no idea. See, I sleep in my car. I don't sleep here. I can't sleep in this chair. I can't. It's too different. It's too uncomfortable. It can't. It can't be done. Other people can do it. I can't do that. Okay? So I have to go to the car. I sleep in my car. I don't sleep anywhere else. Okay? But I don't know how I'm going to convince that. Okay, so now back to business. I talked about it, but I don't know what's going to happen. Okay? I'm trying to make this work. It's not easy. If it was easy, the reward won't be there. It's hard. It's very, very difficult. Okay? And people won't share. People won't share this stuff. They won't. I paid $400 to learn this, but cracking it open is very, very hard. Learning from this guy is very, very hard because he's so high level. He knows so many things. So it's very, very difficult to grasp what he's saying. It's not easy. Okay? So now I have to unravel it. I have to understand what he's saying, and then I have to figure out what that means by adding experience to it. Then I can understand. Once I understand it, that's not enough either, because I have to put it into practice. And put it into practice every day on a consistent basis is hard. So you got this guy who his name is Lance. This guy, right? He's made over $100 million in day trading. And he's saying to himself that when he's emotional and had an argument, he doesn't trade. Right? You got a guy who's made $100 million. And he says that. I go through that all the time. I go to work, and sometimes because I wear earplugs, because I don't want to interact, because I know the influence that it has on me when I get back to trading. Because the exchange will arouse emotion, okay? And sometimes they don't like that. And so when they scream, so I am aware of these things, okay? It happens quite a bit, okay? So those things are out of control, but I try to protect myself as much as possible by wearing earplugs as many places as possible, because sudden noise can subconsciously startle me, okay? And I wouldn't even know about it. So I would be thinking about something, but my body will be breathing heavier and faster because some external force has impacted me, right? Okay? That's the reality. And then slowly that impact will come to the consciousness because it is impacting whatever I'm doing. But until that subconscious acts upon it and I experience it and becomes a conscious, I don't know about it because I don't see it. But there is I'm making long videos these days, okay? But this is very, I suppose what this is doing is it's helping me to like move towards it. So it's sporadic. So I'll be in a period of where I'm like really concentrating, and then I will be in a spell of like trading, and then after I acquire some experience, then I reflect upon it. And reflecting upon it helps me to gather information about what happened, transpired, so that I can come up with new ideas about trading is not easy. Trading is not easy, okay? That's why most people, even my kid who's an A student, says, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that. It's not really a way of making money." I can see why he said that. Now, he's a smart kid, okay? Unlike me. Okay? Just like his mom, he's smart. I'm not. Okay? I'm saying that when I say God as my witness, I mean that's the best way to use it. Okay? But when you tell a lie and say God as my witness, that's not the best way to use it. Okay? So I'm saying as God as my witness. My son's an A average student. I'm a C average student. I know it, and I can say that. And as God as my witness. He's a lot smarter than I am. I can vouch for it. It's evidence. It's the school system. The teachers have said, yep, your son is smarter than you, definitely. Okay, it's written. The grades show it, even in college. Okay, A student, straight A student. Okay, so now, okay, so so now, so if my brain is sitting around not processing this information, it only is cluttered with facts. It is not gathering up the facts to merge it together to form a conclusion about what's happening. And so for the past 5.5 years, I've been collecting facts, okay? But failed to process it, glue it together to create a bigger meaning behind it, okay? So this construct of my thinking about trading is exactly what I needed, but I'm working on it after 5.5 years, okay? So that's what's happening. And I never really thought about this. I never thought about this. So I would be working as a dishwasher for 6 days a night, okay? Six nights a day, 6 nights a week, okay? 6 nights a week. And then I would, after I finished that, and I would go into a trading session because essentially the market is open 25/7, okay? I 24/5, 24/5, okay? So Saturday and Sundays it's not traded. But within those days that are open is 24 hours, and I could trade it 24. Essentially, there are maybe an hour or two of gaps in between, right? In between the New York session and then the Asian session, there's a closure. Okay, the market is closed, and then it opens up in the Asian market, and then rolls over all the way to the end of the New York session. Okay, so essentially, well, I'm talking a lot. I don't know why. I'm talking a lot. Why am I talking a lot? I wasn't talking a lot the past few days. I don't know why. I haven't been talking for like a week and a half, but now I'm talking. I don't know why that's the case. Huh, that's weird, isn't it? It is weird. It is weird. I'm talking a little bit. Wow, that's weird. Huh. Okay, it's currently 11 o'clock. Okay. So now I need to clear up this objective. Okay. Each day what I'm gonna do is I'm going to see right now it's gonna cost me no money to run through these exercises because I'm gonna use demo. Okay. And as soon as I pass the demo 10 times, when I consecutively, without failing in between, when I do that, and when I've traded it honestly, okay, when I trade like a maniac, I'm bound to fail, right? I'm bound to fail. But if I trade it honestly and then pass it 10 times, then uh, chances are that success will overflow into the real trading account. Okay, and next week I'll get paid. Next week when I get paid, there should be an overflow of a little bit of money that I can use. But I'm not going to be able to pass 10 times by next week. Okay, maybe all through June maybe. Okay, all through June. Okay, all through June. Dear God. Okay, dear God. I don't know what's going on, but I need Regis. I know you don't need me, but I need Regis. This office, I need. If I don't have this office, there's no way for me to get the internet at this price point. There's no way. Just this office, the cost of this office is how much internet is everywhere else. Okay? I don't know what I did. I have no idea what I did, but I'm making an honest effort to stick to the rules and agreements that I have. Okay? I'm not sure what I did. I don't know. But I'm telling you, when I sleep, I'm in my car. I'm in my car, okay? There's no way to sleep here. It's possible that I can doze off, but it's you can't really get any sleep here. You can't. You can't sleep in a chair. You can't. Right? The only way to get some sleep is outside when you're laying down in a car, not here. So I haven't been sprawled out and sleeping here. Okay. No. I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case. Because that might be the stickler point that ruins everything. Okay? And I'm trying to abide by the laws and rules and stuff, right? See, they were very kind to turn off these because when you wear glasses, the lights right above will reflect and then they'll shine and it'll blind you. So they were very kind to turn that off. So I appreciate that, right? Okay. So that's the current situation. All right. So that's worrying me right now. That's worrying me. Okay, but I can't do anything about it. Okay? Because they're using what has happened. Just like trading. So just like trading, what they're doing is they've gathered the information. They looked at the charts, okay, and they said, okay, this is what seems to have happened, and we're going to approach you a bit. That's trading, okay? That's trading. So they looked at the charts to formulate what has happened, and then they're going to, hopefully, it'll be favorable for me, whatever action they take, okay? I pray it is, okay? Because this is life-saving. Rich people, they can go anywhere. But this is particularly good. Even if it's another Regis downtown, right? So the parking, you can't pay the parking. Parking alone is like $150. Okay, when I'm living under sub-poverty level, okay? National poverty level is a certain amount. Okay, let's see what the national poverty level is. Okay? What is that? It's $15,000. It's $16,000 for an individual, right? It's $16,000 for an individual, but I'm living below $10,000 a year. So I am sub-poverty level, okay? I'm living in a sub-poverty level right now. That's a national, that's the federal poverty level right now. The federal poverty level is $15,960 annually for an individual. I am living 60% of that. 60% of the federal poverty level. So I'm deeply in poverty. Okay? I'm too proud to take snaps because I have to prove something. I don't want to have to prove that. I'm too proud to like go ask for help. Okay? I'm too proud to do that. I don't take I don't go to the federal government and say, hey, give me some money. I don't do that. Okay? I don't do that. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the money that I'm making as a prep cook, okay, and using that to live. Okay, I'm using that to live and upkeep my car and things like that, okay? That's it. That's what I'm doing. But I'm living below the federal poverty level, okay? Well below the federal poverty level, okay? I just want to make that clear. Okay? And I have to keep that up for the next 4.5 years. And more. Because even if I'm cleared as an innocent human being after 4.5 years, I still can't get a job because for the past 10 years, I haven't been able to do anything. And so I'm gonna be 61 years old. I'm gonna be an old man. That's why this is so important. So whatever I've done, it needs to be placed in context of the benefit that I will get. But I'm just a minor person. I'm just a nobody, okay? But I seem to be sticking out like a sore thumb because I broke certain rules or something, which I'm trying to make the best of to not cause. I'm trying to work with it so that I don't stick out like a sore thumb here, but I need the internet and time in a temperature controlled environment in order to proceed with this thing that I'm doing. Okay? There's proof here. There's proof. Look at my YouTube channel. Look. There's proof. I'm making forward progress. Look, some people say that they like it. Okay? That is proof that what I'm doing is forward progress. Look, some people see this one has 9 likes. Okay? That's pretty good. Anyway, all I can do is it's all in God's hands. I don't know. Okay, it felt like for the past like 2 weeks, it felt like, sure, I was drinking coffee quite a bit to stay awake, okay? But something is, I felt like I felt like somebody was feeding me roofies. So I looked at the characteristics of like a date drug, right? You know, date drug. There are two characteristics. There are two characteristics of a date drug. It causes a person to be very tired, and then there's memory loss. Now I've experienced that for the past couple weeks, and so somehow I don't know how, but it felt like I was in that state of mind. I'm just stretching there. I don't know. It probably isn't true, but I mean, it felt that way for the past couple of weeks. But I conducted that business in my car, not here. Okay. I pray that's the case. I hope. Anyway, so now I've declared that the national poverty level is $15,960, right? Yeah, $15,960, but I get paid far less than that. So essentially, I get paid about $350 every 2 weeks. That's $700 a month. That's $700 a month. So taking out the taxes and stuff, that's roughly about $900. Okay. Okay, about $900. So that means that's roughly about $11,000. I get paid about $11,000 a year. Okay, that right there, including tax and stuff like that, right? So that's about $11,000. Okay, so that means essentially I am living sub poverty level, and I'm making payments here. I'm putting gas in my car. I'm upheaving my car. I'm able to buy a shirt. I'm able to afford a cell phone service, right? Whatever I'm making, I'm putting into my business to survive, okay? They probably don't know that, okay? The people who want to get rid of me, they probably don't know. They just see me as a nuisance. They probably think that I'm like good for nothing, okay? They don't know, okay, they don't know that these two siblings who gave me this felony, they took all the money. They took it. So they're the thieves. But they don't care. They just look at what's written. They don't know that. And they just, it's amazing. It's been 5.5 years, right? So my mother passed away like 4.5, 5 years ago. Okay. So they should have divvied up all the estate equally, because in civil court, she said to the judge, says equally 1/3, right? But they don't care. The courts don't care because it's none of their business. They don't do that. But my mother said that. But they don't care. These two people who took everything, they don't care. Okay? They know they can get away with it. Okay? Because nobody will believe me. Nobody believes. Okay? Nobody believes. And when I'm sitting here, because because I have no power, nothing, they can say something, they sway whatever it is, they take my privileges away because I am a nuisance. Even though I'm trying to behave as much best as possible. Okay, I'm trying to behave. I'm trying to work with the system here. Okay, but I'm a nobody. I'm easy to get rid of. I'm easy to flick off. They can just toss me over and kick me out. They can do that. It's so easy because I mean nothing. If I'm rich, I can get a lawyer and things but I can't. Even if they're wrong, if you're rich, you can get away with it. Even if you're wrong, okay? All right? But I'm obviously I am full of errors. I make a lot of mistakes, okay? But if you're poor, you can't defend yourself. You can't help yourself, and you're prone. You can't do anything, okay? So these people, these two siblings, they hate me so much for whatever happened. Whatever, they hate me so much. They're willing to tell a lie to the world to put me in this situation. But it's good. It's good that I'm in this situation because I'm finally awakening to what I need to do and what I'm best at. It's showing me what I need to work on. Okay? I'm getting some serious clarity. I don't know why. I'm getting some serious clarity these days. It's like, I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened, but I'm getting some serious clarity. It's like the flood has been opened. Something, I suppose that's what breakthrough is. I suppose that's what a breakthrough is. When something is, when I have made a breakthrough, it comes in, it breaks through. It's a breakthrough. It's an understanding that opens up a cataclysm of understanding, and it's being expressed. Then it is expressed because there's an inrush. It's like a popcorn. It's tight and dense, and then it pops and explodes in my mind. Right? Okay. This is just for me. Okay. So I was always confused. I couldn't set it right, so I didn't know what I'm supposed to do on a daily basis. But I know what the goal is. Okay, the goal on a daily basis, every day, is to. I'm so talkative. I don't know where I'm getting this. Maybe it's the hamburger that I ate yesterday. I don't know. Okay, so see, when I'm making this progress, something comes up and tries to nudge me. Okay, it's like the Titanic. Titanic was so successful, and something comes along and just the ice just rams into it and sinks it. It's like that. I pray that's not the case. I pray God smiles upon me and make things work. I hope so. Okay? So something has liberated me to keep talking about. Okay, so now, so I've talked about this. I've talked about the part about, okay, this is going to be, it's already 46 minutes, but nobody's going to watch this anyway, so it's okay. I'm going to make these videos very long, so nobody's going to view it anyway, okay? So anyway, so I made a video here. It's called, the goal of trading is to be consistency in mind, body, and strategy. Right? Because my strategy has to be consistent. Right? If I change it, the probability and statistics would change. Also, my body has to be consistent. I have to exercise myself, okay, so that I can be alert. My mind has to be alert, okay? I have to have the flexibility and movements in my body in order for me to perform the duties correctly. Thirdly, my mind has to be consistent. It has to be crystal clear in understanding what I need to do. I have to be aware of the rules and the strategy that I have so I can employ it. Okay? So that's the goal of trading. Now, so that's the goal of trading. Okay, that will still be valid while I'm trading too, right? But I tend to be spending it. I tend to be using it, not enforcing it. Maybe enforcing it. The strategy is being enforced by using it, but my mind is being used, which means that the energy that's required to power my mind is being used up, and my body is being used up in losing its energy. Okay, and so those things are declining. But the strategy, as I'm using it, I'm using it to verify whether it's working or not. Right. So that's the current situation. Right. See, yesterday and today, what the difference with gold is that today it was also a breakout, but it didn't have that resistance. Okay, a confirmed resistance that I should have been aware of, and so that's why I lost 3 times. Okay, but today there was a breakout. There was a breakout in gold. Okay, now it's coming back down, but there was no resistance to block it from moving up. Okay, there was none, and so it started to move up. Okay, and it worked out. See, it should have worked out like yesterday when I had some size on. All I had to do is wait for the exact situation to take advantage of this parabolic move. Okay, so then when I'm so goal of trading on a big level is to create a consistency in mind, body, and strategy. Okay, so then what is the goal of a trading day? What is the goal of the trading day? Okay, so what is the goal of trading day? Okay, what is the goal? I have to see. I haven't see. These are things that I need to like process and then use. Okay, without. Okay, so it's called a goal of trading day session. A session. Session. Okay, or day. Okay. So what is the goal of a trading session and a day? Okay, what is the goal? What is the goal? What is the goal? What is the goal of a trading session? What is the goal? Okay, what is the goal of the trading session? Because I'm looking at it from the perspective of a micro level of a trading life. Okay, so there is a trading life, there's a trading year, there's a trading month, there's a trading day, trading week, there's a trading day. Okay, within the trading day, there's a trading uh, so trading day and session. Okay, that's the same thing. Then if I were to break it down a little more, then what is the goal of each trade? What is the goal of each trade? Ah, that's what I need to do. What is the goal of a trade? What is the goal of a trade? The goal of the trade is to limit my loss. Okay, limit my loss. Uh, take the highest probability trade and make as much as possible. That is the goal. And then keep the risk as small as possible. Okay, that's it. So that's the goal. That's the goal of trading. That's the goal of that's the goal of a trade. Okay. There's also a goal of a trading session. Okay. So there's a goal of a trading session, which means that it applies to the whole day. Okay. So the whole day, I don't want to be capping how much I make, but I need to cap how much I lose. Okay. I have to trade. I have to. So the goal of the trading. So the goal of the trading session is to. So there's also actually a goal too on trading day, right? So that's gonna apply to a trading week, trading month, trading year, but it actually falls into the smallest subset, which is the goal of a trading day. What is that? Trading day is to maximize the gain that I can make for that day, right? But each trade has to be each trade has to have a criteria. Okay, one of them is select the best security. Okay, select the best security for that trading session, for that trading for that particular trade. Okay. Wow, it's like somebody has been poisoning me for the past 2 weeks. It's like somebody has been poisoning me with like a roofie or something, because the roofie has the characteristics of being very tiring. Okay, it felt like that. It felt like somebody was. Wow, that's really weird. Because I felt really tired for the past couple weeks, and that kind of that kind of drug can be easily gotten. Okay, and if you have, I'm like conspiracy theory here. Okay, I'm thinking conspiracy theory. Somebody's out to get me. Okay, somebody's out to get me. My life isn't that important, okay? My life isn't that important. My kids are well taken care of, my ex-wife. So if I'm gone, nobody's gonna miss me, okay? Nobody's gonna miss me. So, but I'm trying to make the best of this situation, okay? I'm trying to make the best of this situation. And I have a single objective, okay? I have a singular objective, and I pray everything is aligned, okay? I want to succeed at this. I want to succeed at this. Okay, I want to succeed. However long it takes. It might take another 20 years, but I want to succeed at this. Okay? And may God be so kind to make sure that I am given the opportunity to pursue this. Okay? Whatever I did, I didn't mean it. Okay? I didn't mean it. You don't need to kick me out of this place. Okay? You don't need to displace me. See, other places don't have this cubicle. And there's parking fees and all that stuff. Okay? All right? I'm no harm to anybody. Okay? And see, I have this headset. So somebody can be screaming at me, whatever it is. It doesn't matter because I don't hear it. It doesn't matter. Okay? There's a group of people here, like, they're very loud, but they're not loud. I don't care. So I'm very quiet about it, okay? But somebody can make it. There's a guy here. He was complaining about people being too loud and he just left, okay? Seemed like a good fellow. I don't know. That's why you have to have this noise cancellation thing so you can focus. Okay, so I'm not making any complaints. No, thank you. I don't need that. If you have an argument with a rich person, I lose. Okay, but when I get rich, I'm not gonna be that way. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so this is it. So I need to figure this out. I know there's like a bunch of other fluff and stuff like that is meaningless, but this video is for me. Okay, nobody's looking at this video anyway. Okay, this is for me. Look at that. There's one view. So there's this. Okay, it's already like this might take about 2 hours. Okay, but this 1 hour video is about bulls, bears, and badgers. Okay, that's what the market is. I wasn't able to recognize that when gold was in that region, I was trying to break out, and of course I would lose, but I did it 3 times. Okay. So it happens. It happens. So when I say that I'm not too bright, I'm not too bright. I can see it. I'm confirming. I'm telling the truth. Okay? All right. Sometimes I wonder, YouTube has these like videos that are like 2 hours, 3 hours long, high definition. And they're storing this somewhere, right? But if there's like millions of people who are making these videos and each of them are like 10 gig and things like that, I mean, that's a lot of memory. That's a lot of data, right? Even if they were to like compress it, okay? Well, even if they compress it, that's a lot of data sitting around somewhere. That's why I suppose they put that in data center or somewhere, okay? And they're pulling it up. At a pace where somebody from Hong Kong is able to look at this from New York. Okay, whatever the video data is in, they pull it up, and they can pull it up within less than. I mean, they're pulling it up very, very fast without even see. When you click on it, the video plays. So that means that anyway. So now this is good stuff. Okay, I didn't think about this, but this is something that I needed to have thought about, and I didn't do it. Okay, and because I didn't know what the goal is. Okay, I didn't know what the goal was supposed to be, because trading was so new to me, and I don't have somebody who's an expert who's telling me what's going on. Okay, who's guiding me. Okay, of course I'm studying Al Brooks, but this is
just this recorded message. There's no one-on-one dialogue with somebody who's an expert in this matter who can coach me towards like doing whatever I need. I could tell them, look, I'm a scalper and this is what I want to do. Then they can guide me into what I am. They could prescribe what I need to work on so that I can immediately, in a reduced amount of time, to be an effective trader. Okay? But when I'm working for myself, I have to overcome the understanding. I have to learn about it first. Learn about it and put things together to formulate something that tells me, well, this is what I need. That's why it's been taking so long. Okay? That's why this guy, Al Brooks, it took him 10 years, more than 10 years to figure out how to trade. Right? So that's the current situation. So now what is, see, I've been doing this without even knowing what the trading's what the goal is for each day. I didn't even know there was no guiding light. There was no guiding light. Okay? There was no guiding light. Did I make a video on that? Okay, see, I didn't make a video of that. So I have to have a guiding light. Something that guides me during the day. Okay? So what is my objective? Okay, what is my objective? Because that is the guiding light. And I need to be pursuing that. So in each trade, I want to make the right trade. Okay? So in each trade, what I want to do is I want to make the right trade. After when I'm making the right trade, I want to make sure, see, that actually has a lot of things involved. Okay? I want to make sure that risk is low. I want to make sure the trade is maximum. And I want to make sure the stop loss makes sense. Okay? Right? What other things that I need to be aware of? Okay? So that means that when the price moves against me, I want to get out of that trade. Whatever happens, it doesn't matter. Even if it dips, passes it and goes back up, it has to be that way. Because there could be a point where I'm saying to myself, okay, so if the price dips below here, chances are there is a chance that, sure, it bounced back, but the chances of this dropping here to cause a greater harm is there. And so I don't want to find out. Okay, even if I'm wrong, I don't want to find out. So because of that, I have to have the stop loss, and I stopped using the stop loss, which is not good. It's not good. I have to use that. I'm weak on that department. I have to use that. Okay? There has to be that way. And when I start losing, it will happen. So the day could be a negative kind of thing. So if I'm losing 2%, I need to stop for that day. I know it's hard, but I have to stop. Because something is wrong. Something is off. Okay? If I'm losing 2% in a day, that means something is wrong. Okay? Either my mind is somewhere else, or obviously that's it, because I have the correct strategy. It means that my mind is not there. Something is causing the interruption in my mind to properly be engaged in trading. Because if my strategy is right and if I'm properly engaged, then I'm going to do my job. But if I'm losing 2%, that means there's something wrong. There's something very, very wrong about that day. Okay? And I have to take it very, very seriously what the results are telling me. Okay? So the results, so I have to be aware of what the current situation is. Okay? All right. So I lapsed on that department. Okay? But it's difficult to assign a stop loss when something is moving in a parabolic manner. Okay? When something is moving in a parabolic manner, it's difficult to assign something like that, right? So I suppose the stop loss could be here on this gold if I were to take that trade, right? Yeah, see? I made the... Wow. Yeah, I was right. Every time it does this, it pops back up and it goes up. I've seen this before, repeated multiple times. I've seen that multiple times. So on UJ, what it does is something happens when the European market when before the European market opens, something happens and it drops massively, creates a big candle, and then it pops back up and it fills it in. I've seen this multiple times, just like clockwork. So if I were to have placed a stop loss here and taken it, I would have made that would have been a good trade. Now I see it. Now I see it. Now I see it. Okay? I promise I will be out of your hair. And it's coming. And I will be able to afford something more enhanced. But in the meantime, man, I need it. I need this place. Whoever I upset, uh, I hope it's not a, I hope they're going to understand what the current situation is. And then they see it favorably. Okay, I hope they see it favorably on my side. Okay, I realize I'm a you know it's I'm a difficult person to get along with, right? Because I wear earplugs and I sit here and I'm doing what I'm doing and I don't talk to people. Okay, because I this is very important. I need to get this. This is a life-changing event for me. Okay, this is a life-altering thing. It'll dig me out of this poverty. Okay, but I need this right now. This is a perfect situation. Okay, the need for you to get rid of me, there's a greater need for me to work on this. And I'm trying to do whatever I can to afford the opportunity to be here. Okay, I'm doing whatever I can. Okay, sleeping in a car is not easy, I'm telling you, especially in the wintertime. Oh, oh yeah. This year it was mild. This year winter was mild, so boy, yeah. Oh. Anyway, so now, now that's the current situation. Okay, so that's the current situation. So the goal of the trading session, I have to know what the current trading. So I have to have a trading goal, which I didn't have. So each trade is to make the right trade. Okay, I have to make the right trade. Making the right. Okay, so it's 11:40. European market will be opening, and the volatility should increase. So what I need to do, what I need to do, what I need to do. Okay, what I need to do. Okay, this is not happening. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I should have another pen here somewhere. Okay. I should have another pen somewhere. I should. I should have another pen here. Where's my other pen? Ah, right there. Excellent. I do. Excellent. 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 Okay, so that's the current situation. So there's a goal for the trading day, trading session. There's a goal for trading a trade. There's a goal for the trade, and then there's also a goal for a trading session. So I need to define those clearly set what I need to do. Okay, I have to. So there has to be there. I've already outlined what the goal of trading is. Okay, I've already outlined
Goal of trading. The goal of trading, okay? I did that already. So what is the goal of trading session? Okay? What is the goal of trading session? That's a different goal. That's something different. And then there's also a goal of trade. Okay? So that's taken care of. Okay, so let's work from the bottom up, I suppose. Okay, so the goal of a trade. Okay, what is the goal of a trade? Okay, what is the goal of the trade? Goal of the trade is to make the trade correct. The goal of the trade is to make. Okay, so this is complicated. Okay, so if I look at this, the goal of a trade. Uh, okay, so what is the goal of a trade? The goal of a trade is to. I have to use a stop loss. Must. Must. 75% of the time, I don't need it. But 25% of the time, I will lose everything. That's why it needs to be done. Okay? That's what I need to do. So then the goal needs to identify whether something is a bear, bull, or it is a range. Okay? So I need to know whether it's going to be the backside. Okay. I need to know whether it's the backside or the front side or sideways. I have to know what the current condition is. Okay? I have to know what that is. Firstly, identify what that section of the price action is telling me. I'm wide awake now. I don't know why. I don't know why. I must have been suffering something. This is really weird. Somebody must have been attacking me. When was this? Somebody must have somebody is really trying to hurt me. Wow. Yeah, this was like April 26th. That was April 26th. April 26th. That was 3 years ago. Wow, right here. 1, 2, for the past 2.5 weeks. Whoa, I felt it. I felt physically like somebody fed me some Mickeys or something, which is not hard to do if you're a criminal, I think. I don't know. Because I'm here, this is a public place. During the day, it's open. Okay, somebody can walk in, and then if they knew where I am, right, by scoping things out, of course, I couldn't do that, right, because I couldn't sleep, and they could put something in here. This is a public place. Anyway, just keep working. Just keep working. I've expressed my appreciation in an email, but that's all you can do. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now trading has to follow this step because I have to be listening first. The idea. So if I look at this, there are three things. Okay. If I were to draw a block diagram, I have to know setups. Then I have to recognize. Then, uh, then predict, or what do you call it? Respond. Okay, respond. See that respond and predicting is a psychological difference. There seems to be a psychological difference. The difference between predict and respond, there seems to be a separation between by a psychological a thing that separates them. There seems to be a difference, okay? Because essentially what that's doing is, okay, I believe that's going to happen. That's what predicting is. Responding is also saying, I believe that's what's going to happen. But there's a psychological separation between the usage of that word. Predicting is like trying to like force it, but responding is essentially responding. Okay, it's not forcing. It's so there is that psychological difference between respond and force. Okay, which is predicting, right? So I have to go through these steps. Okay, I have to go through these steps. Okay, responding is part of like execution of stop loss, take profit, and then entry. Okay, and size. Okay, so these are the things that I need to know when I enter into the trade. So I have to use these. Okay. So in each trade, then it's going to have a certain amount of risk. Okay, and that's going to determine what the size is. Okay, and that's going to determine where that's the stop loss positioning is going to determine what size it is, right? What size? Because I'm willing to lose a certain amount. Okay, which means it's going to be dependent on what the stop loss point is. Okay, that's the unknown. The variable of x, the variable x of size, okay, is based on a stop loss and stop loss. Okay. The size of the risk is based on the stop loss. Okay. Stop loss and risk. Okay. That's going to determine what the okay. So then that's going to determine what the size. Okay. So it formulates to what that the size is equal to a stop loss and a risk. Okay. Right. Okay. Dear Lord, man, I need this place. I really do need this place. And if I've done something wrong, I hope they'll forgive me, whatever it is. And I'm working on it. I'm trying to make myself. I'm trying to make myself as quiet as possible. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to be as less intrusive as possible. Whatever I've done, I hope there's somebody. I hope there's somebody who's good out there. I hope somebody who's. See, there are people who you can't reason with, and there are people who you can reason with. And usually people who you can reason with are the people who understands the other person's perspective. Okay, instead of purely basing on whatever it is, but they understand the background to understand what the situation is, and they use that as well, not just purely based on
whatever somebody says. Okay? Just like the legal system here. You have these two siblings. They don't care. They don't see that there's something wrong with that. The people who are administrating these, and they don't see the problem with these two siblings who are about to exact their I mean, hatred towards this third person, who are siblings. They don't do that. They just go purely based on their accusations, and they say, why would these two people lie about this situation, right? Because these people know that they can get away with it. Okay, they know that they can say these lies, and they're okay with it because they know the gravity of the accusation, and so I cannot afford to risk my life defending something. Okay, because there's a risk. Anyway, okay, so this is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Knowing the setup is one which is inherent, that is always being worked on. Number 2 is recognizing the market of that particular setup is a thing that I need to do that gates me from whether I'm entering or not entering. And so I tend to fall victim to, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So when something is moving parabolically, what are the conditions? So I have to know. So the parabolic, it'll work in certain situations and it won't work in certain situations. Okay. Pros and cons is this: when it's slow, it won't work. When there is a resistance, it won't work. Okay? The other thing is when it happens at an all-time high, it doesn't work. Okay? But it works when when the momentum is big. Okay? And the other is that so that's a big factor. And also it works when there is no resistance. Okay? And it's preferable that it's moving between one support and resistance area. Okay? So these are the conditions. These are the conditions when things are good. So when I look at it, I need to recognize, instead of just immediately taking a trade, I need to employ these things when I take that trade. Okay, when I lost 3 times yesterday within a matter of 30 minutes, I didn't even consider what the stop loss is. I didn't even consider what the take profit is. I didn't even figure out where the entry point is. I didn't even consider it, because when I enter into a parabolic situation where it is at the point of resistance, it's gonna be the high point. Okay. I didn't even consider the size. I just maxed it out because I thought, okay, it's gonna work out, but it's not gonna work out. The percentage is lower than 25% when my mind is tied up in something else, and I was taking that trade without a stop loss, when the stop loss is needed even when it's 25%, because that 25% could essentially erode any gains that I have. Okay? Right? So that's the parabolic. So the other thing is the breakout. Breakout is an awesome thing because it's in simplicity format. It plays into momentum is very, very important. Momentum is very, very important. Okay, and it has to have a um, so it could be a retest, or it could have a candle that sits on top, confirming. Okay, that's the breakout. Okay, there's also a support. Essentially, it's coming off of the support where there's a wide stretch and then starts to pick off from support to resistance. Okay, these are the three trades that I need to be taking. But I forgot, and I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting because my mind gets programmed because I do things and it just pays off. That's when I get programmed psychologically and I lose focus in what I need to do. This is very, very important. Okay? I need to take a picture of this, post it on my post. This is very, very important. This essentially is the formulation of 5.5 years of work. And employed correctly, okay, it's going to save me. It's going to transfer me from this poverty, okay, into prosperity. But in the meantime, whoever is at the power of making decisions about my predicament here, I pray they understand that trading is not easy. And it takes time. Okay? It just takes time. And I need that time. I need the internet. I need a temperature controlled environment. And I can't get that anywhere else. I can't get that anywhere else. I've looked around. I cannot get that from anywhere. I have to be very, very honest. This is the best place that I could be. This is it. This is the best place that I can be. Okay? Unfortunately, I'm rubbing people the wrong way somehow. Okay? And I'm trying to stop it because I know what it means to me for me to utilize this facility. And I'm trying to do the best I can. Okay? I pray. I'm praying. I'm praying that there's some kind-hearted people somewhere here who understands my situation. Okay? I'm not gonna deny whatever the evidence they have. I'm not gonna deny it. Okay? I'm not gonna deny whatever evidence they have. They're probably perfectly suited to kick me out, whatever they want to do. I mean, they're probably, all right? But hopefully there's some humanity there somewhere who's making that decision. I just need a little more time. I just need more time. I know I've asked that before, but I still need more time. I still need it. I still need it. Think of the sacrifices that I made, okay? Because I knew that if I worked the amount of hours that I was working as a dishwasher, I knew that I wouldn't be able to formulate this thinking because I need my body to be fresh, and I can't be expending all my energy. Working as a dishwasher, the way that I work requires a lot of energy, and when I interact with people, it steals away from the concentration that I need as a day trader to focus on this, and it programs my mind to whatever interactions that I had with the people around me. And so in order for me to isolate myself, I reduce the amount of hours that I work so that I can minimize the intrusion into my thinking so that I can focus more in my trading. And I dialed it down enough so that I can afford this. I can be able to feed myself and be able to maintain my car, okay? Until my business starts to... The reality of trading is the reason why it's so hard is because the benefit is incredibly high. The rewards are incredibly high, okay? But in the meantime, But in the meantime, I'm living sub poverty level in order to get me there. I need to do that. Okay? And I pray that I'm not offending people the wrong way. Okay? I'll say something. I'll get emotional when I lose. I'll get emotional. Okay? I just need a little more time. I'm almost there. I just lost focus for a little bit. This is something that I've been working on for the past 5.5 years. Okay? This is what I've been working on. Okay? You have all these in Regis. There's a lot of postures that says, well, strive, like 10,000% effort and all that stuff. Okay? But if you kick me out, I'm the one who's doing that. I'm the one that's over there. Everything that's written on there, I'm the one who's doing it. I don't know if these people are doing it, but they're not here at midnight. I am. I have sacrificed everything to make this work. Don't let whatever I did interfere with what I want to do. Because your posters right there are clearly saying that we support the hard work. Okay? It says that. Every poster. Consistency, what to think, don't let your sky be the limit, all that stuff, right? And in the kitchen it says, what is that? Like hustle is 10,000% or something like that. Anyway, that's the honest God's truth. Okay, so I've refreshed my mind. Okay, I keep forgetting about this. I need to be aware of these things because this is enough for me to be profitable. This is it. It's like Moses coming down from the mountain. It's like he's got a tablet here. It's like Moses coming down the mountain. His hair is all white, okay, because he's seen God, okay, and he talked to the bush, okay. He talked to the bush, the burning bush. The bush was burning, okay. That's God burning, okay. And then he had this because the God had sent lightning to inscribe the 10 commandments, okay, of trading. And then he's walking down the mountain, and his wife was waiting for him, okay? And then here it is. This is the 10 commandments of this is this is the 10 commandment of trading. Okay? This is the 10 commandment of trading. Here, look. Every time I read it, lightning will strike down and inscribe it in rocks. This is the properties of this is very similar to a rock, even though it's called paper. Okay? Paper has on a periodic table. Okay? Periodic table. This is carbon. Okay? There's carbon in here. Carbon is a rock. But it's a different form. This is a tablet of trading. This is the 10th commandment of, well, how should I call it? This is the 10th commandment of trade. 10 commandment of a trade. Huh?